Welcome back to another episode of Dogs on the Couch, where everybody's allowed to have an opinion. It does not matter if you played the game, you were watching. So you're allowed to have an opinion as well. Let's get into it, man. Actually, this is going to be a short, quick sound video, straight to the point. Not even a whole lot of, you know, breaking down of things that's gonna happen in this. I'm gonna have another video where I go through the playoff games that was just played this past weekend, address all that old kind of thing and what I saw and everything like that. But this particular video here will be dedicated to none other than my guy Quincy Carrier, for whatever reason decided, I guess the respond to one of my comments or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if you ask me, it was a real tacky way that he went about responding to one of my comments. And then when I respond back to his comment, and I ask him, because I know I'm flaming him when I do it, I ask him, I say, and please don't delete this comment. Guess what he do? Deletes the comment. So then I comment again, like, bro, why you delete my comment, man? I even asked you politely to not delete it. I'm like, was I being too factual for you, man? Like, this how you do your listeners? You know what I'm saying? Somebody give you some constructive criticism and you go off the rails with it. Small tidbit of context. This is in regards to a video that he made talking about stop falling for the Deion Sanders stuff, where Deion could potentially, speak out about his son. I ain't gonna necessarily say speak out, but I guess like detour his son from going to the Cleveland Browns. He's basically saying, oh, Deion doesn't have that cachet. He doesn't have that. He can't do anything about somebody. If somebody does draft his son, what he gonna do about it? What he gonna do? And it's like, bruh, I'm gonna get into that part in a minute. Cause just being honest, Deion don't really have to do much. Like, you don't really have to do much. But we're gonna get into that part in a minute. Right now, let's address him and my comments. So in this video, the video is entitled, "We Gotta Stop Falling for the Deion Sanders Rage Bait." Okay, that's what the video is entitled. And there's a picture of Deion with the Browns emblem behind them. And then at the bottom of the picture, it says, "Stop falling for it." So in this video, and he's done this in numerous videos, not just this one, he uses a word that is not a word. And he does this constantly. He says the word, it's not a word, but he says spunt. Like spent is the actual word, but he says spunt. And he says this like quite a bit, like throughout his videos. So I just point out, just for the sake of constructive criticism, I make the comment, and on here, my comment is at John Doe hyphen DAE. So that's the comment name on here. And my comment says 558 mark. Yo Q, you say this a lot, but spunt isn't a word. LOL, I'm just saying, I ain't the most grammatically efficient individual in the world, but spunt is nasty word. Okay? Now, for me, that's constructive criticism. Like, I didn't say that you was a dummy, or that you can't spell, or you don't know the proper words. How can you be schooling us on something and you can't even use the proper words to describe it? You know what I'm saying? How intelligent are you if you're using words like spunt? Well, excuse me, it's not a word, but you using spunt. I didn't get on there like, Brian, nobody should be listening to you. You saying spunt, that ain't even a word. Why should somebody be listening to you? Like, I didn't even say that. I just simply pointed it out to just say, hey, man, you do this a lot. Spunt is not a word. Like, it's spent would be the word. So when I make that comment, I had 2-3 people like it immediately. One person under me, Scotto Caster 6668, he put spend it with 2 question marks and a laughing emoji. The next person at FJIGG typed exactly. So clearly I wasn't the only person, who kind of noticed this. And maybe because, this person put spend it and started laughing, and maybe he felt like, he was being joked on or something like that, and he got in his feelings. And he responded to me saying, this is his excuse for saying spunt. His excuse is, it's called an accent. I'm saying spent. Stop playing dumb with me. Oh, Lord Jesus, help us. First of all, he don't know who he talking to. That's for starters. Because my little at name on here might fool you. Because when you see John Doe, you ain't thinking that he looked like me. And not saying that you could judge a book by its cover or anything like that. But I promise you, I ain't that guy. Yeah, he don't know it, but I'm not that guy. Yeah, I'm not that guy, brother, man. And truth be told, I don't know where he at. I believe you might be in Cleveland or in a surrounding area somewhere. So am I. So am I. So, brother, man, you should probably watch how you know what I'm saying things in comments. Cause when he said it's called an accent, I'm saying spent. Stop playing dumb with me. Well, my initial response, and I ain't even go. People that know me know kind of how sometimes I ain't rap too tight. I ain't go off the hinges, honestly, because I like to keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? I've said before, much as I feel like he puts out ridiculous takes sometimes, or he's a flip flopper, or don't like to pick a side. I've actually said that sometimes he has decent points. He have good points. And we actually both agree that with the number 2 overall pick, I would take Abdul Carter. Like, we actually in agreement on that. That's what's okay. But when he said it's called an accent, I'm saying spent, stop playing dumb with me, I responded by saying, well, no, that's completely inaccurate. Spunt is not an accent-driven word. You know what I'm saying? Like, not trying to be funny, but I'm a person who has a slight tidbit of an accent. I was born in Florida. You know what I'm saying? I just currently reside in the Midwest. But I have a slight tidbit of an accent. The word is still spent, not spunt. If we talking about Memphis accents with the Glorilla and Yo Gotti and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Where they like music. That's how they say music. Music. It's not one of those. Like, you don't hear them saying spunt instead of spent, even though they have an accent. And even as far as Midwest accents go, like, if you want to say St. Louis, Nelly, anything like that, it's her, there. Like, even parts down south, Florida, like, it's her, it's there. Like, but we don't say spunt, we say spent. So for me, when I replied to him, I'm like, well, bruh, that first of all, no, that has nothing to do with an accent. You just pronouncing the word wrong. Like, that's all you doing. And to me, just like in your videotapes a lot of times where you flip-flop and whatnot, it seems to me that you just a person who don't like to be wrong. You can't deal with being wrong about something. You have to be right about everything. And here's my thing with that, man. Like, nobody's perfect, bruh. Absolutely nobody. So there are some things in life that you're gonna get wrong. It happens. But how I judge the character of a real man or a real person, period, real man or real woman, is being able to own up to when you made a mistake, especially when it's something this small. Like, you just, you're using a word that's not a word. It's real easy to just use the real word. It's real easy to be like, you caught me on that one, huh? I'm gonna try to remember that the next time. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. You caught me. All right. Well, next time I'm gonna try best I can. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, spunt is what's in my vocabulary at the time. Like, you could have even made a joke out of it. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. When I say that in my reply, I also say, watch how you throwing the word dumb around. Like, you might want to watch that, playboy. Keep it respectful the same way I did, champ. Flat out. Of course, at the end, I add PS. Don't delete this comment. Yeah, I thought all of this is, in good debating faith. I said I'll debate you on I'll debate you on sports, grammar, and accents if you like. Anytime you want. I'm willing to debate you, buddy. He deletes my comment. Even after I said when I made the comment, don't delete it. I know that's the type of time you would be on, people who don't like to be wrong. And then when I'm pointing out how you wrong, you would delete it. Lo and behold, he deletes my comment. So then I comment again. Oh, bruh, that's how we doing it? You don't delete my comment? After I even asked nicely, politely, hey, please don't delete this comment. Leave this up here so people can see my rebuttal. Don't act like you just shut it down with your comment. No, you didn't. Like, you didn't. So I responded again, bro. I'm like, bro, is this how you treat your listeners? When somebody gives constructive criticism, you mad? You got your panties in a bunch? That's what it is? You got your panties in a bunch? Oh, let me delete this comment, this guy. Let me delete this. What, because everybody's supposed to kiss your butt? I guess I don't understand, bro. Like, I don't get it. It was real simple. It's like, spunt is not a word. It's not. Like, what's wrong with just, we can all admit that it's not a word, instead of trying to make up an excuse that don't make sense. Oh, it's an accent. Bruh, you don't have no accent, bruh. I listen to you all the time. You don't have no accent. In fact, you go above and beyond to pronounce. Make sure that you're pronouncing your words, every word that you say. You make sure that you're going above and beyond to pronounce your words and articulate everything in a specific fashion. You make sure that you're particular about how you're saying your words when you're saying them. That's an exaggerated impression. But like, you do, bruh. Like, you try to, like, you talk in a very articulate fashion. So to make it seem like, well, you this guy with this slang, with this accent that's being thrown around everywhere. Stop that. Cut that out. Like, stop that, big dog. You don't have an accent, my man. Trust me, I know. Like, I know. This is coming from a person with a slight accent. You ain't got none, bro. I listen to you all the time. So in my opinion, it'd just be easier to just own up to the fact that spunt is not a word. What's so hard about that, my guy? And then to try to throw in at the end like you tough. Stop playing dumb with me. First of all, I don't play dumb and I'm not dumb. I actually put that in one of the comments that he deleted too. First of all, I'm not dumb and I don't play dumb. And if you'd like to find out, you're more than welcome to it. Anytime, big homie. Anytime you ready. I already put on the comment, because I let him know, it's like, I live in Cleveland. You don't have an accent. Like, you don't have an accent, big dog. Like, I live in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? You sound like all the rest of the Clevelanders. There are no accents. There ain't no accent, brother. Ain't no accents here. Like, what are you talking about, my man? Um, so we had to be very clear with this guy about this. Stop playing dumb, boy. Boy, listen here, okay? Because when you was in your thing, when you was saying, I'm from Cleveland, but not East Cleveland, the east side of Cleveland. Exactly. I could tell you not an East Cleveland person. I lived in East Cleveland for quite a number of years. And again, you can't judge a book by its cover, but I'm just saying, the way you carrying yourself and the way that you was about this comment, bro, you wouldn't make it 5 minutes in East Cleveland. On my mama. You wouldn't make it 5 minutes in East Cleveland. You'd be ready to move to Maple Heights somewhere, big dog. Man, I don't know. Maybe even Highland. You probably had to go to Highland Heights. Because Maple Heights got some real ones too now. So you might have to go to like Independence, Walton Hills, something like that. You probably had to be out there, big homie. So cut that out, man. Cut that out, big homie. Only person that could be considered dumb would be you for saying that spunt is an accent. No, it's not, brother. Spunt, it's not an accent. That's just you being dumb with the lack of knowledge that spunt isn't a word. Like, even if you got an accent, that don't make up for using something that's not a real word. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, people with accents still use real words. They don't use their accent as an excuse to use words that aren't real words. Okay? And people who use words that aren't real words, we tend to lean on them being like on the dumber side of things. So you like the last person to be saying, like, for somebody to don't play dumb with you. It's like, you the one playing dumb. Saying that the accent is what made you say spunt instead of spent. It's like, nah, bro. Because if you knew to type it, I'm saying spent, then why can't you just say it? You could type it, but you can't say it. Make that make sense to me, bro. Cut it out. So anyway, now that we got that garbage completely out of the way, hopefully, because I'm all for, like, I'm 100% with. It's like, bro, I would really like. Hopefully, if somehow you see this video, bro, reach out to me, bro. Yeah, reach out to me and then show me that dumb thing that you was talking about. Yeah, I need you to show me what you talking about. Cause I highly doubt I highly doubt it. Yeah, I highly doubt that, bruh. I highly doubt that one. Yeah, yeah. We gonna keep it respectful because we on YouTube. But bruh, I highly doubt that. Cause person to person, we would have a completely different conversation. I can promise you that. Person to person, we gonna have a completely different conversation. I promise I come from a different walk of life than you do. You know what I'm saying? I promise to God I do. I promise you I do. But somehow I still got the intelligence to know that spunt is not a word. It's actually other stuff that you use, that isn't the proper term. You also sometimes use F's instead of pronouncing the TH. You'll say with instead of with. You'll say with instead of with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, again, that's not an accent thing. That's just, you're not pronouncing the words correctly. Or you don't know what is a word and what isn't a word. As that is. Now, let's get into the actual topic. The whole Deion thing. Because in his mind, oh, what can Deion do? Deion ain't do anything. And he even plays a video where he's claiming, because he even mispronounces I think it's called nightcap. He called it Shay and Akko or something like that. I think he meant to say, like Shay or Shannon Sharp and Ocho. I think he meant to say Ocho, but he botched that one too. So let's hear him and what his take on Deion possibly intervening in any kind of way, to try to detour the Browns from selecting Shedeur Sanders with a number 2 overall pick. Let's take a listen to that right quick.
this whole Shedeur thing. I do think that this kind of misunderstands the fact that like Deion also spent 2 years coaching in Mississippi and Boulder, Colorado. Also, we got.
I had to pause. You heard spun. He spun 2 years. No, the correct word is spent, my man. Like while we talking about people playing dumb, the correct word is spent, not spun. Let me let you go ahead. Let me let you keep talking this nonsense.
Understand that like what Deion might want might not be the same thing that Shedeur might want. Now Shedeur might just want the same exact stuff that his dad wants. But let's listen to this clip from the Unc and Cho show to get some kind of understanding.
The Unc and Cho show. First of all, that's not what it's called. It's called Nightcap. And it's with Unc, aka Shannon Sharp, and Chad Ochocinco. Or Ocho. Not Unc and Cho.
Where these rumors are even coming from.
Prime Rips reported that Shedeur wouldn't want to play for the Browns or the Titans. There will be multiple idiots that will say things that are totally aren't true regarding I would like Shedeur and Shiloh to play in the NFL. If I were to say it directly to whom it may concern, not an attention seeker, I don't know NFL commission personally. I do know NFL commission personally. Drop. He like mic drop. I hadn't talked to Prime in a while because look, he's getting ready for the bowl games. I don't want to bother him. I'm gonna bother his ass now. He got no bowl game to play. Funny. Yeah, he got no bowl game to play for. So I'm gonna bother his ass. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. The thing is, in times like I think I read something where he said he had y'all forgot y'all were talking like this, but y'all forgot I got time today. The only thing I tell time is like when I'm going to 25, I ain't chasing no lies. Yeah, I'm not gonna chase it. I'm not gonna shoot it down. I'm not gonna try to refute it. Whatever y'all believe, run with that.
It is what it is.
It is what it. Now I'm gonna see how long it goes. Because that's one thing we know about a lie. Watch how quick it disappear.
Yeah.
Watch how quick it disappear.
You know what I don't like too. Now getting back to Prime, and the door, and whatever reporter says, he wouldn't want to play for the Browns. I mean, why even write something like that? It has to come from somewhere, or you just making it up.
A lot of times, people want to be the first to report something, but no. But Brian's gonna be all right. He's done a great job, and I call him from time to time. He's like, bro, hey, you got favor, you anointed, and they're gonna take their shots.
Yeah, always. And listen, and with them taking the shots, he's someone that can handle it though. That's different. It does not seem like they think that Deion is about to veto him coming to Cleveland. Now, maybe you think that's the case for all the other reasons that we stated, right? It's Deion.
Okay, that's enough. So you hear him say, well, it does not seem to me, or it does not sound like, that they think that, Deion is going to veto. Whoop. Truth be told, it wasn't even really a lot said that was in that clip from Unc and Ochocinco. It wasn't really much to even take from that clip, in my opinion. What you were actually taking from that clip is Deion being politically correct, okay? Because if you do want to detour or veto certain things, you'll probably get it done better or easier, or have a better chance of it happening by going about it in the politically correct fashion, as opposed to being loud and obnoxious. And, if we know anything about how certain media or whatever certain people view Deion, they already just view him as kind of being loud, brash, and obnoxious, by him just simply being himself, in all honesty. Him being himself a lot of times can be misconstrued as, him being loud or brash or arrogant, things of that nature. So in my opinion, I think he's just, kind of trying to go about it in the politically correct fashion. as opposed to taking the route that would have him living up to the stigmatism that's placed that's placed upon him. You're already viewed a certain way. If you go out and act that way, then it's going to bring much more merit to this negative view that a lot of people have, about you. So I think he's just doing it the politically correct way. However, as far as the truth of the context and Quincy using that clip to say that, well, doesn't sound like they believe that Deion would do anything to veto the trade. I have a clip right here where on this nightcap episode, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, they say, no, we don't think Prime want his kid to go there. The exact same thing that Quincy said that they're not advocating for. He's saying like, well, no, based on this clip right here, what they said, basically saying that people are lying and this and that, and they're lying when they say that Deion's going to veto, because it's like Deion would never come out and say, yeah, I don't want my kid going to no Prime. Like, why would he do that? Okay, real quick, let's listen to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco say they don't think Prime gonna want his kid to go there. Let's take a listen at this, because this is what Quincy said that they wasn't saying. He said that they wasn't saying this. Let's listen to him say it.
He thinks they are. I don't think they are. So hold on. What pick are they in the draft? Who can they possibly get? And if you go to Cleveland, when you see the success that Baker Mayfield is having in Tampa, they pick Cleveland too. Oh, Cleveland get go. They pick number 2, Ocho.
Okay, they pick number 2. Where they going?
Quarterback, either Cam or Shedeur.
I mean, sure, man. You think Prime?
No,
come on now.
I don't think Prime won't. I don't think Prime won't Shedeur to go there. I do not.
Prime will intervene like Archie Manning did. Don't.
Oh, the Marks haven't taken Cam Ward.
Okay. Well, hold on. If they got to take Cam Ward.
Now, I could let it play a little bit further, because it's, they reiterate it again. Like, they say it again. But they make it clear, no, I don't think Prime want his kid going there. And then Ocho jump in like, boy, I think he'll intervene like Manning did with Eli. This is the precise thing that Quincy is claiming that Deion can't or won't do, because he doesn't have the cachet to be able to do this. He doesn't have the cachet to be able to pull this off. But this is how you know Quincy talk out both sides of his neck sometimes. Because on one end, he say, well, he may have the cachet to work something out with, being the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. He may be able to work something out with that, or he may be able to have the cachet to get his son Deion Sanders drafted, or this or that, or whatever, what have. So my thing is this: if he got the cachet to do that, how come he don't have the cachet to intervene, quote unquote, so to speak? How come he don't have the cachet to intervene? Quincy, listen here, my guy. There are several reasons why, if you're any quarterback, not just Shedeur Sanders, if you're any quarterback, there are several reasons why you wouldn't want to come to Cleveland, my man. Several reasons why you wouldn't want to come to Cleveland. Okay? Shannon Sharp and Ocho mentioned one right before they said that they wouldn't want, that they don't think that Prime would want his son coming here. They gave a reason right before that. They said, when you look at the success that Baker Mayfield is having over there in Tampa, like if I'm a quarterback and I saw what Baker Mayfield was going through and what he went through and how messed up it was when he left Cleveland or got pushed out or whatever, what have you, and then I turn around and look at the success that he's having over here at Tampa Bay, and then I also couple that with, well, look at what happened with Deshaun Watson. All they ever did was talk about how much money he made. Not only that, when the guy got hurt, the fans were happy. They were cheering for the fact that this man tore his Achilles. They were happy about it. So if I'm a quarterback, the only thing I'm thinking in my mind is, well, if I go to Cleveland and then, like, I could know that I'm a good quarterback, but what if I go there and just, the style or whatever they running, it don't really fit my skill set, and they not trying to do anything to fit my skill set. They just basically saying you gotta run Stefanski's offense. And let's just say I end up looking trash in Stefanski's offense. You know what that's going to do to me? Number one, that's going to affect my pay, because people going to be looking at me like I'm a garbage can. So that's going to affect my pay when it comes time for me to get out my rookie contract and get the next contract. That's going to mess up my money, for starters, because people going to be looking at me like, oh, this guy's terrible. He's a garbage can. And then on top of that, after my money being messed up, I'm finna have a whole city and a whole stadium of people booing me and wishing and hoping and praying on my downfall, wanting me to get injured so that the backup could come in, so that Jameis Winston could come in. Why on earth would I want to sign up for that? Why? If I'm a quarterback, why would I want to sign up for that, man? Why would I want to sign up for that? And I could just use the other team, because I don't think, when they say, well, all these teams, it's like, nah, I really think it's only one, maybe two teams max that Prime wouldn't want Shedeur going to. And one of them, undoubtedly, in my mind, would be the Cleveland Browns. Nobody just lining up to come to Cleveland. Sorry, Quincy. Like, nobody just, you never heard anybody say. Joakim Noah got a famous quote. Okay, now I know this is basketball, but it still applies because we're talking about just Cleveland. Joakim Noah has an infamous quote where he says, never heard anybody say they go on a vacation in Cleveland. Like, he was like, Cleveland, what's so fun about Cleveland? What's the like about Cleveland? Never heard anybody say they're going on a vacation in Cleveland. Just like you never hear any athletes when they say they demanding a trade request, well, I demand to be traded, and then when they got the list of teams, they're like, well, I want to go to the Browns. No, they don't. I can't recall a player in the history since 99, because maybe before that there was some, but since 99, outside of Johnny Manziel, he just wanted anybody to pick him because he was falling down the board. But outside of that, I can't really recall anybody who was just like, yeah, I want to go play for the Browns. Forget all these other teams. I want to go play for the Browns. Man, what? Are you kidding me? If you don't get that garbage, nobody is dying to play for the Cleveland Browns. If anybody is saying, I want out, I want away from this team, Tyreek Hill, he was talking about he want out of Miami. Do you think that the Browns would be one of his destiny? You think he want to come to the Cleveland Browns? You are outside of your mind. You're dumber than I think. If you think that the Cleveland Browns is this great destination, and then he went on to talk about, the closest in proximity to other cities, and because he was comparing like the Donovan Mitchell thing, sort of to this. Oh, well, people thought that Donovan Mitchell was going to leave, and he stayed. Blah 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 blah. It was like, well, first of all, that's Donovan Mitchell. Every person is different. Second of all, the Cavs have actually won a championship, my guy. 2016, they won a championship. So the Cavs are not known as this loser of a franchise. They're not considered losers, my guy. The Browns are considered losers. That's what they are. They're considered losers. Like, not just the team, but everything about it. The entire organization is considered a big L, a dumpster fire. Like, that's what it's considered. It's the Cleveland Browns are the laughing stock of the entire NFL. You get the most laughs out of the Cleveland Browns. Like that, let's be 100% clear about that. Nobody itching to come play for the Browns. So again, you like, what he said, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Because when you sitting in front of this camera, it's easy to talk tough. Because see, he talking, what if they do draft Shedeur? What is Deion gonna do? It's like you making it seem like, well, Deion will have to come beat somebody up in order for his son to not play. No, he ain't got to do all that, bruh. Because then that would feed into the narratives, the false narratives that's put out there about him. Instead, he could go about it in a professional manner. Because what Quincy, dumb self, is not realizing, this ain't the 1980s. This ain't the 1990s where you didn't have a choice but to just go and play for the team that drafted you. You didn't have a choice. Like you didn't have a choice. Because more often than not, most of those players were coming from a situation where, I mean, at the end of the day, like I need the money. I done made it all the way to this point, and then, you know what I'm saying? Boom, I'm setting myself up to get this money and to be in the NFL. I don't want to ruffle no feathers or nothing like that. I'm just finna go to wherever I'm drafted to. That was understandable back then. However, in today's world, we live in player empowerment. Player empowerment. That's the world that we live in now. Player empowerment. Started in basketball, and it's slowly moved over to football. I watched Devontae Adams get out of Green Bay, went over to the Raiders. If I'm mistaken, he might have been a free agent when he left Green Bay. I'll X that one out. But I definitely watched him finagle his way away from the Raiders over there to the Jets. By just simply being like, hey, look, man, it's best if y'all just make a move. Like, I don't want to be here. You know I don't want to be here. Why keep forcing it? This exact same thing happened with the Cleveland Browns this year. We had Amari Cooper under contract. He had to play. He has to play for us. He's under contract. But what Amari Cooper did is he forced his way on up out of here. He was like, basically, well, check this out. Like, I mean, I don't want to be here. Y'all know I don't want to be here. Haven't wanted to be here since the talks of the Brandon Ayuk and trading for him. Y'all know I don't want to be here. And then when they were sending the man out on the field, we can't confirm this because we don't know. But he sure was dropping the ball a lot. We don't know if he was doing it on purpose or not. But when he was here, he led the league in drops when he was here. Somehow he got to Buffalo, and I guess he figured out how to catch the ball again. He learned how to catch again once he went to Buffalo. Every time, not to mention, every time a player has left here from the Cleveland Browns, they always got negative stuff to say about their time spent here playing with the Cleveland Browns. All of them. Zadarius Smith, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry. The list goes on and on and on. All of the players, Baker Mayfield, all of the players all have negative things to say about the time that they had here in Cleveland and playing for the Browns. So again, first of all, if I'm Shedeur himself, why would I want to come there, bruh, when it looks like I could be potentially just setting myself up to be an absolute failure without even having a chance? Because you could be putting me in inopportune situations, then I look like I'm trash, whether I could actually be good, but I'm going to look like I'm trash. Now you messing up my money and you messing up my future as an NFL quarterback. Because Baker Mayfield, it took who knows how long, how many years was wasted in his career here in Cleveland. Imagine if he just had to start it out over there in Tampa Bay. His career would probably look a lot better. I mean, it don't look too bad now because he's been able to, resurrect everything over there in Tampa Bay. But imagine if he just started out over there. His career would be completely different. We'd probably still be seeing progressive commercials of him at home with Baker Mayfield if he started out over there in Tampa. So that's for starters. If I'm Shedeur, why would I want to come to Cleveland? Why? What? Quincy, give me the positives, not for a person who live here, not for somebody who live here, somebody who don't live here, don't know nothing about Cleveland. What would you sell to them as to why they would want to come here? What is it? It's not the weather. It ain't the people, clearly, because you got people like you who can't take constructive criticism and want to try to say something snappy and want to try to say something sassy. And then when you get a response to that, you want to delete it and cover it up because it calls you out on your BS. Why would somebody want to come here and deal with that? I'd rather go to Tennessee and play for the Titans. I don't care how bad their team is. I'd rather go to any other team that's extremely bad. I'd rather play for them. Because at Tennessee, at least I'm gonna get more months of good weather by me being there. That's just a perk off for starters. That's just a perk off rip. Another perk, they fans wasn't booing their quarterback when he ruptured his Achilles. They wasn't cheering for that. They wasn't happy till he ruptured his Achilles. That's another reason that I would want to go there instead of here. And then the number one, and I don't know if Quincy got no kids. I'ma just assume that he don't. Because from a father's standpoint, and this is a father who ain't Deion, I wouldn't want my son playing for the Browns. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't want my son playing for the Browns. Not the Browns. Not the way they currently construct, not the way they is right now. I wouldn't want my son playing for the Browns. So a Hall of Fame cornerback, arguably the best cornerback that's ever played the position. Hall of Famer, arguably the best at his position in the history of football. Do you honestly think in his hardest of hearts that he would want his son to go to Cleveland to play for the Browns? A dumpster fire of a team? The laughing stock of the NFL? Especially considering what they just saw happen with Deshaun Watson? Are you dead serious? No, I don't think so. No, not a Hall of Famer. Why would he want his son coming here to the worst team in the league? And I ain't just talking about just as far as like record and personnel. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about top to bottom. Organization, the entire organization. And then even after once you get to the city itself as well. Like if you got to pick between the Raiders and Cleveland, like bruh, come on, it's a no-brainer. I'd rather play for the Raiders. I'd rather play for the Jets. And it don't even have to do with like it being a bigger market. I'd just rather play for the Jets. They're less of a laughing stock than the Browns. Like, as bad as it looked over there, I'd rather go there than to be playing for the terrible Cleveland Browns that ain't gonna do nothing but blame you. When everything go wrong and you keep losing and the head coach is calling stupid plays and maybe they ain't drafting people with talent and the people that you do got with talent, they run them out of town. Bruh, why on earth would I want to come here to deal with that? That's just preposterous. Like that's nasty work. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to come here? So, respectfully, as they say nowadays, respectfully, Mr. Quincy Carrier, you might want to retract that dumb comment. Because the only person who seems to be playing dumb or actually dumb is you, my guy. Dogs on the couch, signing off.